Welcome to Yorkshireman Models. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Picked up this kit from Lidl in the UK, £6.99, which for a starter set, which these are, it's an absolute bargain, it really is. You get your 172 scale kit, but you're also going to get some glue, a brush and some paint. So, a bit different with it being a tank for me, I only do a few now and then, but we'll get this kit done and built and see how she is. But what I will also do is I will spray it with the Gallery A Series airbrush. Done a review on that. I'll put a link up so that you can have a look at it if you want later on in the video, but let's concentrate on getting this built first. You can use any nippers that you want. These are specialised modelling ones which are quite expensive, but nail clippers or even a pair of little scissors out like that, just try not to cut too close to the plastic, and then when you've done that you just sand it off like this so that you get a nice smooth edge. It's got a nice little detail there showing you the way it's pointing. I'm presuming it's meant to be turret, but it also shows you it on the instructions so you get the right sides to the right one. So I'll do this one first. Just into there. Like so. Tamiya glue, this one anyway. There is other versions, there's the thick version, I've got some of that, but all you do is dot it where you want it, like that. Oop. It's not that quick, yeah, there you go. But anyway, yeah. But what you can do is you can run it down a seam like that, you see. When you run it down a seam you can just press it in and it usually does a nice weld. I'm just connecting the front and rear now of it, and once it's pushed in tight you can just do that little line of glue. And it's got lovely locating pins as well, so you know exactly where they're going. You have to be careful where you're putting this because it's showing you it goes further down onto it there like that. It's not up at the top, there's two little ledges there for it. See? Right, it does call for you to glue your tracks on now, but I'm going to keep them off because I've checked it, and with the top on, like so, see, you can still get your tracks on and off. So I've decided to keep the tracks separate so I can paint them up separately, because it's always easier to paint these and you can get into these block sections because all of them are supposed to be painted black than blocks. So you've got, see, a lot easier, and that's as simple as it is. Just because they've designed it like that don't mean to say it's always the easiest way for you as the modeller. Somebody, if you're building this kit now and you might want to do it like that, it's just how you prefer. I always find a pair of tweezers is good, and even a cheap pair from supermarket in beauty section will do it, just so you can handle small parts. This piece just sits into there. Again, there's a groove slot there for it, so you know you're getting it right place and right way around. These top pieces, I put them on because they're that small. I know I can paint them all again after if I want to. And that just sits into 3 little pin marks. And that's just part of the turret I'm making up now. And this is the gun, you just put in the muzzle on end, or part of it. Easy enough done. I'm leaving putting gun in until I've painted it all, and I've checked and it does fit into it still, so I'm going to put the base bit on there on the turret when I finally get it slotted into place. That's it. And then this it's near enough made. I've got a bit on top of the turret to do with it. I think it's a notch. That's about it. Just gluing the arch on top there, you can see just clips into place like that, that's no problem. And then connecting the hull together, they just clicks in like that, and you just put a bit of glue down the edge. I will just say I'm using some Mr. Surfacing finisher so I can put black all around it, so it gives shadow effects for anyway when I paint with rest, just to make sure you don't leave any areas that look a bit crap. And you can see I'm using, I don't know if you can quite see it to be honest, but it's the Gallery Ace there, just so you know I'm using it. I'm spraying now the main paint on that comes with the kit, and I've thinned it with Tamiya RX20 just so it'll spray a bit nicer, because it is a little bit thick when it's in them bottles, and you really have to thin it a bit to get it to come out at airbrush nice. Right, I'm going to mix up so I can dry brush, because I've got a dry brush one here, but I'm going to mix up a bit of the colour I've used for the base here, and in another pot here, which is another pot from a starter set that I got, I'm going to use a bit of that with this just to lighten it, so just get edges a bit of a thing so it makes it look a bit nicer, that's all. See if it makes much difference anyway. Right, start on my tracks. Just to show you, what I do is I just get a little tiny tip on like that, rub it off on there, and all you do is like that, just highlights certain areas. It's an old technique, but if you're new to modelling, I tell you, it's revolutionary when you first ever start doing this. Just makes your models come to life, really does. Look at that, to that. And when it dries, it's even better. Just get a little bit at the back, but I don't think it's going to make any difference there, because you won't be seeing it. Again, you get most of it off like that. But this isn't a makeup brush, this is a proper army painter one. But these like that, if you get old makeup brushes out like that, they do it nice. And on the kit itself again, it's just the edges. You look there, how much detail seems to be popping on this side compared to that side. I do like it, I always have done. It's quick and all. One of the quickest methods for smartening up your model. Well, not smartening, but weathering up your models a bit, making them look a little bit older, that there is this. Painting up the tractor now, and I'll also do the road wheels at the same time. This is the black that comes with the kit, it's just been watered down, that's all. Just so it makes it flow a bit better when I'm painting it. This is the brush that you actually get with the kit as well. I'm using a few paints now from spare pots I've got from when I've done starter sets before, and I'd always recommend to anybody who is starting to build model kits, save your pots, because they always come in handy like this. And I'm just painting up the tools that's on it. This is the silver that came with the kit, and I'm just finishing all the tools off on the deck so that you can see what it's like ready for when I start doing any weathering. I'm now putting decals on. and I'm just using water, which is all you need in all honesty to put decals on. But you can make them better if you use like Mr. Martsetter or Tamiya's decal solution, Humbrol's, Microsol, anything like that, and it helps get rid of any silvering that gets left behind. But what you do is you put your decal in the position you want, and then you just rub any excess away like this with a cotton bud. Be gentle, they do rip if you try and force them. And this is it with all the decals on the hull. So what I'm going to do now is do a bit of weathering on it. And you don't have to do this, you can just carry on building the kit as normal, but this is a bit that I've done to make it look a little bit more used and worn. That were oil paints there, you have to use oil, and this is a low order thinner or terps or anything like that as you want to call it, mineral spirits, but try and use the low order if you can, because it does stink a lot. And all I do is I get one brush just to put a bit of the actual stuff on the oil paint, just dab it about in areas. That's all you have to do. I put it on a bit of cardboard, the oil paint, because it helps soak out the linseed out of it. And then what I do is I just get the thinners and just run where I want the actual oil to be, to make it look like it's dust, dirt, anything like that as you want to say, that's collecting all over the tank. And you just keep doing this, going around. It's just keep moving it about, thinning it out. And you can see on this bit here, which is a bit closer, that's why I'm showing you on the turret, and I just liberally dab the thinners all over. Run the actual oil paint about so it starts to fill everywhere, any cracks, any stuff like that. And where you want it to make it look like it's dust that's run down with rain and that, just make sure your brush flows in that direction like that, going down. And you just do that all over the kit. Experiment with it. This is a Winsor Newton flat coat that I've got in here. It's got X20 Tamiya mixed in with it. You get loads of it for about, I think it's about £6-7 a bottle, about 250 millilitres you get. But I'm just going to use this to take away that shiny coat that's on it, and it also helps seal in this oil paints I put on. So I'll do that now. Right, it's time to attach the tracks and other parts now. So I'm using my Revel cement here. I find it works a little bit better when there's paint already on the parts, and just push the tracks onto the locating pins. It's as simple as that. It's a fantastic design they've done there. And as I said before, I'm going to put the gun in after. Push the gun into place there like that. Really tiny dabs of glue now. Don't want glue running anywhere, otherwise you'll not be able to move the gun after. And this is the holder just to make sure the gun stays in place, but it allows it to move up and down then. And again, the tweezers come in handy for this. And just put a little bit of glue around to hold the gun mantlet over it so that that's in place. It doesn't need a lot, you just have to wait for it to go off. Turret on, and that's a finished. Well, she's been a cracking little build, really fun to do and all. Really took me back to when I was younger. Just the basics like dry brushing and all of that, absolutely gorgeous. And the kit itself builds up absolutely fantastic. It is an absolute joy to do, really is. I mean, there's a lot of kits that when you're coming back to modelling, if you're like me, knocking on a bit now, and you were modelling when you were younger, you packed it in for a little bit and you've come back, pick one of these babies up. You'll love it, especially if you build similar kits when you were younger, because they are very nice and fun to do. Oh, that's it. Just move. But yeah. Would I buy it again? Of course I would. It's a bargain at money, it is. £7 for a kit like this. I'll just show you one thing, and I can't remember if I said it before, but you don't get any of these flying hours on this box, like that. They're what you get as a flying hour. You don't get any of them on the box. You get everything else that you normally would. You just don't get a flying hour, which is a shame really, but hey, that's what it is. And if you're not collecting them, like you're not a member at Airfix Club, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not. But our preferred method is to save up tons of them and then you do it. But we'll see. It's one of them if you collect them or not. Don't know if I've already mentioned, but if not, please subscribe, please like my video, all of that usual stuff. It does help my channel out a lot. It is coming on leaps and bounds now, and I am really impressed. Now that I've finished with most of my summer work, there'll be more videos going up, more builds. This is just a hobby for me, so I can't keep dedicating too much time to it. That's why I have to go to work to earn money to buy these, as they say. But anyway, thanks for watching everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a brilliant little kit to build, and in all honesty, if you get the chance, get your son out there, get one. You'll love it, you really will. Look at that, beautiful. See you all later.